Hey Flosstube, it's Veronica with Night Stitch, and today we are going to be setting up my 2025 WIPGO board. Last year I printed out a board from Jessie Marie's suggestions on the WIPGO site. This year I made this. This is just Strathmore Bristol paper. You can get it at Michael's, but it's like thick. It's thicker than cardstock. So I just drew out a WIPGO board, and I wanted more space because in the paper printout last year, I feel like I didn't have that much space to write stuff. So this is a lot bigger. So I'm going to go with this, and up here, I was going to put another sticker on before I did a video, but I forgot. This says Reward New Start. So anytime I get a full bingo line, I'm going to reward myself with a new start. And the other sticker I was going to put on was going to say goals, monthly. So any prompt that I put in for the project, so like I'll have projects listed here, but then I'll have goals to complete the project to decide whether I get a bingo line. Those goals will be completed monthly. So this is my old martini shaker. It's a little bit rusted, so I don't use it for drinks anymore. But if you watched my plans video, you will remember that I said I was going to have sheets of paper in a bucket, and I had a popcorn bucket that I showed in that, but I decided my old martini shaker needs some love. So then I can actually shake it up and pull projects. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's what this is. And one more time on my old WIPGO board. So I had 25 projects on here. I think I only have 51 WIPs if I added that right. Because when I did the paper, I took out all of the WIPs that I had put on here because I didn't want to have a repeat WIPGO board. So I only had one extra in here. So there's only 26 projects in here. So I will be pulling the majority of them, but we'll see in what order they go in. So that's what I'm gonna, so the first one I pick will be number 1. And then I'll have one left over that doesn't qualify for WIPGO. And I have a few WIPs in my, was it WIPs? Yeah, I had a few WIPs that I didn't want to put in here because they're gifts. And I wanted to not have the WIPGO limitations because when I play WIPGO, I do Jessie's basic rules. So the basic rules are 1 project in each block, 1 goal for each block, and don't start the thing in the block until the first of the month. So I play with those rules. So I didn't want to have a project be tied up that was a gift so that I couldn't work on it. So that's why some of those are out. And I have a new Heaven and Earth design that I bought and started that I haven't shown yet. And that one is also not in here because I want to work on that one. So I didn't want to have it be a restriction on the WIPGO board either. So let's get started. Number 1, Number one is Soar Today. And I will draw everything first and write it down on here, and then I'll go and get the projects and then show you what my starting point is on them. Sorry, I'm trying to think where in the block I want to write the project. Because last time I think I wrote it directly in the middle and then I had no space to write other stuff. So maybe I'll write it up at the top. So, number 1, soar today. Hopefully that was in the camera. Because I can't see when I'm... Okay. Number 2 is do or do not. Number 3 is Sherlock and Watson. Shake it up first. Things are still stuck together because they're kind of new still. What did I get? Summer Sampler. Number 4 is Summer Sampler. I have something in my way down here. There's like a pencil case thing here. I suppose I could take the top off of it. Yeah, that'll help. Because this Bristol paper is huge, so yeah, there. Now it's not knocking anything. Okay. Sorry, distracted. Not sorry, because this is fun. Castle Homecoming Club. This is number 5. Okay, Castle Homecoming Club. So we've got 5 down now. We need first row done. Sarcasm. Christmas in London. Paris. Eight is Paris. Sorry, I haven't been saying the numbers, but I've been showing you the boards, so you know. This is number 9. I'll start saying the numbers now, and then watch me forget. Christmas in the Kitchen, number 9. Christmas red wine is number 10. Two rows done. Courage is number 11. Sex on the Beach and Pink Cocktails. It's the name of the drink. It's not a lewd pattern. House Targaryen is number 13. coffee break is number 14. Jolly Pirate bookmark is number 15. Number 16 is Polygonal Batman. Number 17 is Shih Tzu. Number 18. They're like stuck together. Darth Vader. Number 19. This might get a little easier after their paper is not so new after I do this a lot more. Number 19 is fucking Sunshine. Thought I dropped something, sorry. Number 20 is his cross. We're down to the last row. Sorry, two came out at the same time, and I'm like, I don't want that. America, America. Is 21. Damn it. Free cupcake is number 22. Number 23 is every book is a TARDIS. Number 24. Epic Storybook Princesses. And the very last one, number 25, is Captain America holding a flag. Okay, those are my WIPGO projects. The board is now completed. So the one that did not make it in was my Savior's Words. So this one will go back into the regular WIP pile, and I will do this kind of thing again because I'm not just going to work on WIPGO stuff. So I have this box here with these bags that I sorted out. So I've got WIPs in here. I have my Magazine Stitch Mania stuff in here. And then I have New Starts. Look how thick that is. So I'm going to put my Savior's Words back in the WIP thing. So when I do Flosstube, I'm going to put these whips in here and do the sorting thing to see what other projects that I am going to pull to work on for the week or however long between my floss tubes. I haven't decided. I'm kind of hoping this is going to make my floss tubes a little more consistent because I want to film, but I just sometimes, I don't have a schedule basically, and I don't want to like have a really, really rigid one, but I think like a loose one would be okay. So I'm going to try something like that. But these are just going to go in the bucket without a bag. So those will be separate because they're WIPGO. And once I finish the goal on the WIPGO, they'll go back in the WIP bag so that I can work on them again. Because once you finish your prompt for WIPGO, you can, or finish your goal for WIPGO, then you can work on your project whenever, however much you like. So after I show my progress on the WIPGO, I will put it back in the little WIP bag and then pull it again for the other stuff. So then I will get to work on it like more than once. So it's empty. So now this is the, well, hang on. I have to check what numbers Jessie called for January, because these are WIPGO specific prompts that I wrote down as well, because I wanted to kind of challenge myself with goals. Because last year I did fine. I was just like, I want to do 100 stitches, or I want to do 5 days, or random stuff like that. But this year I wanted to kind of make it more spontaneous. So I wrote down a bunch of prompts, and some of them are harder than others, and some of them are more themed, I guess. So like, example. So like if I had any heaven and earth designs on here, I wouldn't pull something like, I wouldn't pull a prompt that says work on one letter or finish one letter, because I have something like that in here for like my projects where I have letters and numbers. So it wouldn't make any sense for the heaven and earth designs to get that prompt. So I have kind of separated them out. So like some of the prompts are okay for all the projects. Other prompts don't make any sense for certain projects. So anytime I get a WIPGO, I'll look at the numbers and then I'll see what projects are on here. And then I'll pull the prompts that fit the projects, that make sense to go with the projects. And then I'll put them in the martini shaker and shake it up and see what prompt that I get for the project. So I watched Jessie Marie's WIPGO for January, like the calls video the other day. So I'm gonna look real quick to see what number she called, because I didn't write it down, of course, because why would I? So okay, it says an error occurred. Please try again later. Nope, it's fine. Just the ad, I guess, was... Okay, so it looks like in her video she says 11 and 20 are the calls. So I'm gonna write on here. So I wrote on here the month next to the title and here. So now I've got that. So then I'm going to grab my projects and show you what they look like. But I wanted to explain the prompts first. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I went ahead and changed the batteries in my microphone too, so that didn't die on me. You see behind me I have my projects that I pulled. So I'm gonna show you the entire board. I'm gonna show you what my starting point on all of them. So number 1 is Soar Today. So I'm gonna have to search over here. So give me a minute. All right, Soar Today is by Pinoy Stitch. And it's a quotables fitness series, and there's 5 of them down there, and this is the Soar Today one. I picked all of my own colors except for one of them. Nope, I picked all my own colors. I matched the shades of colors to the pattern. So like if it was orange, I picked an orange. So I didn't change the colors in that sense. This is done on Fiberlicious Oh My Moose 32 count Lugana. And I managed to frog out the Today that I had stitched in the wrong place. I stitched it too high. So I frogged it out, and I realized the sweat drops here or the water bottle drops. I don't know which one. The pattern doesn't specify, but could be either one. I found out that I had stitched those too low on this side, and that's why my word Today was in the wrong spot. So I had to frog this and then the word Today. And I have done that now, and that's why I was not working on this, because I didn't want to frog. Oh, and I also managed to, I had a hanging thread down from the end, and I filled it in, so I added part of the O here. Okay, number 2, Do or Do Not is a pattern by Natalie Needlework, and I got it from Etsy, but the shop is no longer there. It is a pattern of Yoda, and it's got the words do or do not in the shape of Yoda. I'm doing this on Poseidon's Cave by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. I started this in May of 2018 for Stitch Mania. I don't know what day it was. I finished page 1 and I started page 2, but I ran out of that green color for his hand, so I'll have to go get some more before I can start working on this again. Number 3 is Sherlock and Watson by Fiddlestick AU on Etsy. This is done on Silver Moon Fiberlicious 32 count Lugana. And this is number 3 on the WIPGO board. I have part of the top completed. I think there's another accent line that needs to happen. And I need to finish the wallpaper. And then after that, I think all of the parts that I have now will be done. And then I can start adding more. Number 5 is Castle Homecoming Club by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It was the 2023 Stitch Along for Frosted Pumpkin. I almost finished Clue 4, but I fell off the stitch along train before then and failed at clue number 4. So this is done on Eucalyptus Showers by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. I finished clue number 4 since then, and now I'm just working on it whenever I feel like it. I'm going to do the clue 5 next, because I am still working on it in parts, so when I still have the pattern for each separate clue, so I'm doing it that way because I thought it would be fun, because since it was a stitch along, I thought I should, well, not I should, but I want to work on it in like as if it were still going on, even though I know it's not. This is my alpaca thread that I used for the wizard's beard, or his hair. I keep saying beard, I put it in his hair, not his beard. But it made his hair fuzzy. I guess I can't go too far with the light. The light will cast a shadow, but his hair is fuzzy. Okay, that was the first top row of WIPGO I have shown you. So now on to the second row. Sarcasm by Peacock and Fig. This is a pattern that I combined 2 different patterns. I put a food wreath around the words because I didn't like the floral wreath. The words are by Peacock and Fig, and the wreath is by DMC, and it's a free pattern. The DMC is a free pattern on their website, and Peacock and Fig one is not free. This is done on Alice's Garden by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And that's what I have. I feel like it's kind of pointless to do a December update because my December projects that I've worked on have been shown in my WIP parade and in this, because this is a project I worked on in December. So maybe I just won't do a December update because all of these videos, like I did a WIPGO recap video, then I did a WIP parade, now I'm doing this, and I did a 2025. Couldn't find the photo. Yeah, but maybe my December update is kind of just spread out amongst all of my end of year things anyway, so it's fine. So I worked on this in December. It's Christmas in London by Mirabilia. I'm doing it on Starburst by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana, not 13 count Lugana. 32 count Lugana. I started it on May 11th for Stitch Mania in 2018. And I finally got it to look a little different. I think I mentioned it in my WIP parade, but in case you haven't seen it, this is what I have. And every time I work in the Q-snap, I put it in kind of the middle because that's kind of the area where I can start working up. But for a while, it looked like it was just her dress and then that stand on the right. No, it'll be on the left from when I look at it when I'm stitching. But anyway, so it kept just looking the same, and it felt like I wasn't adding any more stitches even though I was adding stitches. But now I think I have added enough to it that I finally feel like it looks different, because I got like the flowers next to her dress and then the ribbon over here, and then I added more over here. So it finally is starting to look like I'm actually doing stuff on it. And then the deer head down here was not part of what I was like annoyed about, because it looked different after I put it in. So I worked on that randomly in December. It wasn't part of anything, but now it is part of WIPGO 2025. This is number 7. And I have it in my Captain America bag that I made. Okay, number 8 is Paris. This is a bag I got from TJ Maxx. This is a Riolis kit. And this is 14 count Aida. I am using that cloth because it's got the printed around it. And I'm working in the top left quadrant. I started in the middle with the Eiffel Tower, and then I worked my way up to the left, and then I finished the sky, and I'm working down to the building. And I am doing a little bit of parking on this one. Okay, number 9 is Christmas in the Kitchen. And it looks like this, and it's by Sue Hillis. I'm doing it on Summer Soiree by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And I have started in the middle with the rolling pin, and then I went up to the eggs and the milk. And I've finished that whole little section. Okay, number 10 is Christmas Red Wine. And this was a new start in December, and I'm doing it on Magnolia Magic by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. This is by Piccola Parigi on Etsy. And this is what I have. I started in the middle and I went up to the top of the wine glass that's in the middle. And this pattern has blends, so I just wanted to show you. I have these floss drops, and I wrote the symbol and the numbers for the blend, and then I just, when I was done using it, and I didn't done using it in the pattern, not completely, but just in the section I was using it, I tied it here. And I'm just keeping it in the project bag with it. And I got those floss drops from my LNS. Okay, that is row number 2 done, 6 through 10. So number 11 is Courage. And Courage is a pattern that I designed. It says courage is being brave despite being scared shitless. And I'm doing this on Cafe Misto by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. And I had a model, like a mock-up. I had a digital mock-up on my shop, so I didn't really feel like I needed to model stitch it super fast, but I designed it years ago, so I'm like, I should just model stitch and put a photo in my shop because it's been way too long. So that's the middle, and then I went up. Okay, this is number 11, so this is a January WIPGO call. So I'm going to leave it here. Sorry, that's my drawer for my batteries. I'm going to leave that here. And then when I pull the other one, after I finish showing you all of the things on the board, I'm going to do the, like, shaking up the prompts to see what prompts I assign to each of the WIPGO pieces. The two, not the whole board. This is Sex on the Beach. It's the recipe for the drink. And Pink Cocktails, both by Pinoy Stitch. I have decided to combine them into one pattern. So I will have a task now of needing to chart the pink cocktails around the recipe, because the way that I have it is that I have the recipe in the middle and I have the pink cocktails are around it. I was kind of just winging it, but I feel like I should chart it. That way I know where to go and what I'm doing. Because I think the reason I haven't worked on this is because I don't really know where I want to put the other pink cocktails. So I need to chart those, and then I will work on this. So this is MCG Textiles 28 Count Even Weave. Got it from Hobby Lobby in the 2nd century BC because that company doesn't exist anymore. And I dyed it myself. And this one was number 12. Number 13 is House Targaryen. This is my Game of Thrones house banner. I changed up the colors. This one has a project bag that matches the project. I'm doing this on Fibrolicious Amazing Grays. It's 32 count Lugana. And I did not do it like they charted, because what they charted was to do everything in orange on a dark fabric. And although that does look cool, I wanted to change it to multicolor. So it's orange, black, gold, and then a DMC variation, variegated, where it says Fire and Blood. That's variegated DMC. And I'm almost done with this. Okay, number 14 is Coffee Break. This is a pattern by Soda Stitch. And this is also one that I worked on in December. This is done on Buttercream, 32 count Lugana by Fibrolicious. And I added some more since the last time I showed it. So in the Whip Parade, I had less done on it. Now I've got more of the French press done. I did most of the coffee in there, and then I filled in some of the reflections on the French press. Number 15 is Jolly Pirate Bookmark by Po Vitrulia. And I did not pull the cover photo, but the bottom two icons are done. And I worked on this in December. I finished the back stitch and then I finished the gun and the sword. And there's a ship up here and then the sun, like sun rays up at the top. Okay, so that is the WIPGO board middle row finished. So now we're down here with Polygonal Batman. I started this on May 2nd, 2018 for Stitch Mania. I'm doing it on Fabrics by Stephanie. It's 32 count Lugana Storm. And I worked on this in December. And I finished page 1 I had done already. So I started page 2, which is the other side of his mask. And I worked down to his chin. And I finished that because I did his chin 1/1 because I felt like it, not because it was charted that way. And so I wanted to finish all of that. So now all I have left is the 2/2 stitching. And this is by the same shop that did the House Targaryen. I don't know if I said the name of that shop. It's Lolita Made on Etsy, but it's no longer there anymore, so I didn't mention it because... So, yeah. Number 17 is Shih Tzu. This says done by Cross My Heart Craft on Etsy. I'm doing it on Plum Blossoms 32 count Lugana. And this is what I have. I started in the middle and I went up. So I have his nose 3/4 of the way done. I think it's not exactly half of his nose, it's more than half of his nose. Number 18 is Darth Vader. This is by Cross Stitch Bay on Etsy. This is done on Skyfall by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And I do not know which way is up. This is probably one of my saddest starts. I think maybe this way is up. Because when I put, I think these are waist threads down here. When I put waist threads, I put them facing down sometimes. I don't know. This does look like the middle, and it does look like I went up, so I think it's this way. But it's a very sad, sad little start. So I'm glad it's on the WIPGO board, so I can actually work on it, because I clearly have been ignoring it. Okay, number 19 is Fucking Sunshine. And I actually finished the pattern. What I'm doing is a border around it that wasn't charted. So this is done on Fiberlicious 28 count Opal Lugana in Maldives. And so I have this, and the green and yellow border is what I'm adding onto it. There was like a little birdhouse in the corner, but I didn't want to stitch that, so I didn't. And I feel like maybe because the pattern was all yellow, I kind of felt like it needed something, so I'm going to try the green and yellow border and see if I like it. The pattern was by White Willow Stitching, but it's also got the name Stitchy Bitch that designed it as well. Okay, number 20 was January's call. January's second call, his cross. So this one I have in a project bag by Yazzie. And this is the pattern. It's by Jan Lin. It's a kit. I'm not using the kit floss, I am using the kit floss. I'm not using the kit fabric. The fabric I am using is Naiad by Under the Sea Fabrics. It's 32 count Lugana. And I have started in the middle and gone up to the top of the cross. And I changed the sash to blue because I didn't really want everything to be beige. Plus, I feel like I've seen pictures of crosses where the sash is blue, and blue is my favorite color, so I just decided to go with that. I'm using Classic Colorworks Tyler Boy blue for some of the blue in the sash so that it's variegated a little bit. Plus whatever other shading the chart calls for that I'm converting. Apparently the wild animals are having a barking fight outside. If you could hear that, I don't know if you could, but it was like 84 dogs just yelling at each other. Okay, so I need to keep this one up here because it's the call for January. So, okay. Now, this row is done. So now we're down here. So we're almost done showing the projects for the whole board. This is America, America by Stony Creek. I'm doing it on Fiberlicious Dragon Tears, 32 count Lugana. And I started in the middle and I went up. Okay, number 22 is a free cupcake from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I got it when I bought their Secret Slay Society kit. It is called, or done on Very Periwinter by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And I don't have a cover photo, but this is the little thing they sent me. It's on the back of this. And I'm using some this is a remnant piece of fabric, and I'm using some, that's the back, variegated floss I had lying around to stitch it because it's just brown and pink and white, so it doesn't matter if I use the called for colors or not. But I didn't change the hue of the color, I just changed what colors. Like, I'm not using DMC except for 310. Oh, I'm gonna write not every, I saw every on here. I'm gonna write shut the fuck up cake on around the cupcake when I'm done, and that'll be completed. So I'm not just stitching the cupcake, I'm adding to it. Number 23 is Every Book is a TARDIS by Erica Glover. I'm doing this on Where Shadow Used to Fall by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. I got this on Craftsy. I don't know if it's still there. It was free when I got it. And I just have the TARDIS. We still need to get the handles done. And then do the words. I'm going to do some other bookmarks on this fabric, which is why the TARDIS is all the way over there. Okay, 24 is Epic Storybook Princesses, which is sideways. And my printer was running out of ink that day. This is by Clouds Factory. I'm doing this on Peacock by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And I'm done with Aladdin and Pocahontas. Well, not done with Pocahontas. I'm done with Aladdin and the castle. And Pocahontas is about 40% done. I have floating heads, and then I have the people on the side next to John Smith that I need to do. And I recharted the pattern a little bit because I put in Thomas, which was John Smith's best friend. And I'm going to move Governor Ratcliffe and Percy. And then there's another tree and some leaves. And I think if I can't fit that, I'll just leave that out because I wanted Thomas in there. I realized number 4 was Summer Sampler. And I didn't show you because somehow I skipped over it. So this is Summer Sampler by Cooler Design Studio. Summer is my favorite season, so when I saw this, I wanted it, and I kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and then I finally got it. I am doing this on Ocean Mist by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And I started in the middle and I worked my way up to the top left. So the starfish is done. And this is exactly 1,000 stitches because I made a goal for myself. Well, it was less of a goal for myself and more about I want to see what 1,000 stitches looks like on a new start. So I did that. I had a lot of fun stitching that one. 25 is Captain America holding a flag. This is by a shop on Etsy I cannot pronounce, but it's WIPGO is the how it sounds or how it looks phonetically to me. So this is on Thundercloud 32 count Lugana by Fiberlicious. And I started in the middle and went up. And then worked my way back down. I like how it looks. Okay, that is all of the things on the board, including Summer Sampler. Silly me. Okay, so I'm going to show you the prompts that I have for this. So I have some that are stitch counts, and I have some that are, trying to see if these are all in order, like so I've got stitch counts in different variations. So there's like 500, there's 800, there's 700, just stuff like that. So I've got stitch count, and then I've got phrases because I have a lot of things that have words. And then I have this one that's characters. So like little people. Then I made a thing where it was finish letters or numbers, but I had different numbers. So like finish 5 letters or numbers, finish 4 letters or numbers, like that. Then I have projects where they're gigantic. And so the stitch counts would work for them, but finish 4 letters or numbers wouldn't. So those are not going to be those prompts are not going to be put in when I have projects that don't fit. So for those projects, these, like for Heaven and Earth designs, you add 0.05% on to what you already have, or I add 0.03% to what I have, because the stitch counts are so huge that it's like adding 0.03% could sometimes be 1,000 stitches. So I have some of those. Then I have these, which is finish 5 lengths. So it's like 5 lengths of thread that you pull out of a skein. So like you pull 6 strands out of like the skein, and you, well, I cut it, and then you pull 1 strand and then you use it up. So like finish 5 lengths of that. But I have like 5, 4, and 3, 2, 1 of that. Then I have icons, so finish 5 icons. So kind of like my Taste of Europe, where there's just little like symbol, there's a car, there's the Eiffel Tower, there's a bridge or something like that. So like finish one of those pieces on the thing. That's what icon means. Then I just have days. So like 5 days, 4 days, so like work on it for however many days. So now that I've shown you that, we have his cross and courage for my WIPGO calls for January. So courage has words on it. So I'm going to take out the icon one because that doesn't match for either of those projects. I'm going to leave in the 3 lengths or whatever because that's generic. That goes with every project. I'm going to leave in the days because that goes with every project as well. I'm gonna leave in the add 0.05% because that's his cross maybe could go for that. Finish 4 letters or numbers, that goes with the courage one, so I'll leave that. I have no characters on these projects, no little people, so I'm leaving that out. I feel like the courage one is one big phrase, so this doesn't fit. And then I will leave all the stitch count ones in. So now all of these are going to go in the martini shaker. I think I could probably use some of these too for my regular whips that I want to like work on. I could pull some of these to see what I should do on those because I don't have set goals on those, but I think it would be fun to see if I could give me something to work on, I guess, instead of just like stitching on it with no particular rhyme or reason, I guess. Other than, of course, the main goal, which is to finish the project and hang it up on the wall because it's pretty, but... Okay, they're all in there, so time to shake it up. All right, what am I getting? I got add 0.01%. I think I'm going to put that towards his cross. I don't know if this is big enough to have this goal not be super easy, but we'll try it and we'll see. So add 0.01%, to what I already have on his cross. That'll be my goal for WIPGO for January. Now I'm pulling for courage, and I guess if I get another 0 point whatever percent, I'm gonna reshake it. I got 3 days. So for courage, I'm going to work on it for 3 days. That's my goal. So courage, 3 days. All right. So I think these are just going to go back in the little bag until next month's WIPGO. Unless I decide to use them for my other projects. Okay, I was trying to decide if I should pull whips for my other projects, but I think maybe I'll do that on a different video and just keep this all as WIPGO. So there you have it. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting, and I will see you guys on the next video.